Hey guys, it's your boy M.K.S here, back with another video. Obviously part 3 of my bucket list, future plans and things like that. So anyway, I hope you checked out parts 1 and 2. If you haven't done so, please check them out. I hope you'll enjoy them. And I think there was something I was going to say, but I can't quite remember. But yeah, so in the future, that's what I was thinking I was going to say. In the future, I might make some updated versions of this list. And on different days, I normally like to do different things, like on Fridays I like to do stuff that's more fun and that sort of thing, and Saturdays I like to do more serious things that I stand for, what I hope to work towards. So this list could potentially change in the future, and I might think of more goals or whatever. But anyway, here goes. So as I say, this is continuing on from parts 1 and 2. So please check them out if you haven't done so, and I'll try not to waffle too much, but I'll try and get to the point. So number 21, I hope to think of as many goals as or as many ideas I had in the past as possible, and like write stories about them all. Maybe like online books and things like that. So yeah, just write memories from my life and that sort of thing. And I know I'm not the most proactive person, so it might not be quite as interesting as I'd hope, but maybe I'll remember some little things and make them into stories with my imagination, things like that. Number 22, I hope to look into the future. In the future, I hope to look at how to help Africa and Indigenous Australasia, Indigenous people from Australasia, to lead in technology as much as possible. So yeah, look at how as many countries as possible in in Africa, including South Africa and Central Africa, excuse me, and the rest of Africa, can lead in technology. And I'd love to fundraise for them so I could support them to become the top places for technology. So as many of the 54 countries in Africa as possible, and also like encourage Pan-Africanism and One Africa. To work together in terms of all areas of technology, including excuse me, game making, software, and any other areas of technology where they could be empowered. And I suppose the reason I hope to talk in the future in more detail about the reasons why I hope to support Africa, and maybe I'll leave that for future videos. Why I hope to support Africa generally in technology, and also Indigenous people. But yeah, to put it simply, it's because I think Black people, and especially Black women, have been underrepresented in technology. So I think it'd be great to support them, and in supporting them in Africa, they could then support their own communities, and that the money they earn could go towards. So, for instance, when they pay taxes, it could go back in towards supporting more girls, especially in Africa, as well as boys, to learn how to use technology and lead the field in technology, and also they could train each other as well. So hopefully that would help. And Africa has been behind in many areas before in terms of like industrialization, things like that. So as I mentioned, I think it was in part 2 that this is the 4th industrial revolution apparently, so or something like that, 4th industrial sector or whatever it's called. So it'd be great to see Africa lead in that area. So I hope to work with people who share that goal, as I talked before about like networking, and hopefully they can share their ideas and resources, money and resources and funding and training and opportunities, and encouraging businesses like maybe write to big companies like IBM and Oracle and Microsoft and companies like that to go and create training centers, not just employment for a few people, but to train people in the future so that more Africans can get the training, so therefore they can get those good jobs and things like that in technology, and maybe run their own companies, and maybe look at how governments can support them with like taxes, like lobbying for governments to give money. That could be like a form of reparations as well. Anyway, I'm going to move on because I could go on about that point quite a lot, but I hope to expand on that in the future as well. Number 23, I hope to do as much, as I talked before about, sorry, just trying to clear out my throat. As I talked before about, I'd love to do, most of the stuff I try and do, like 90 to 99% of it perhaps, is to try and do things for charity in these sort of areas I want to support, like what I mentioned, what I call the four or even the six now, which are like indigenous people from Africa, Australasia, the Americas, and Asia, and also like adding Latin America and Ireland as well. So it's mainly countries that were colonized. So as an anti-imperialist, I hope to support those countries, and I hope to support them in like fundraising for certain areas, like providing water, clean water, obviously drinking water, but also that can be used for washing, bathing, ensuring, and certain industries probably need that water, and that sort of thing, farming and whatever areas clean water could be used for, and cutting back on pollution, providing electricity access for countries like India and Pakistan and Nigeria and all over Asia and Africa, and maybe also like education, which could create more peace as well, healthcare, education, environmental projects, looking after animals as well, and things like that, and faster internet access as well as electricity for as many parts of Asia and Africa and places like that as possible. And training and things like that, especially in terms of African, like in terms of training, as I talked about before. Like, so I'd love to fundraise for training equipment and materials which can help Africa and Australasia, indigenous Australasians, to learn how to use that technology and to lead the field, and that hopefully will help them to be part of great jobs or careers generally, and maybe even, as I say, in the future, run their own businesses, and things like that, which hopefully will empower them in the future. 24, as I said before, like I'd love to support countries that were colonized as an anti-imperialist, and maybe bring people of color and anti-imperialists together to support those countries I've talked about, what I call the four and the six, and things like that, which I've mentioned. Looking at how to support those as much as possible. And again, as I mentioned before, I'd love to look at how to plan ahead for each day, so I make the most use of each day and never be too lazy or idle, to look at how to put things into practice, how to optimize my ideas and things like that. Number 25, I'd love to support projects like Tech Republic Africa to go into as much parts of Africa as possible, and look at how there's many organizations which help Africa in technology, but maybe bringing those organizations together, and Friends of Africa and things like that, so it can look at how those 54 countries, a big one, and the approximately billion or so people, or as many of them as possible at least, can work together on projects, which again I hope to come to in the future. So again, it can look at how Africa as a continent, and maybe even Aborigines, I say, and Maoris and people like that, Tories and Strait Pacific Islanders, however you pronounce it, can work together to lead the field in technology and that sort of thing. So yeah, bringing all those different organizations together so that they can share ideas and resources, money, resources, funding, and things like that, so they can look at how to not miss any opportunities. And on Mondays, I hope to talk about a project idea which I call MOP, which stands for Micro Operating Processor, which would be like Africans working together as much as possible towards a shared goal of making computers safer, easier to use, protecting against viruses, protecting against like how people can avoid losing their work, how to make like talking technology and things like that, and just generally overall advancing technology by working together, which would be quite ironic because I'm not that good at tech myself, as I've mentioned before. Number 26, again, I hope to look at ways like to reparate people of color, and like how, and also the Irish as well, and other countries that have been colonized, and how they can work together, countries that are colonized, countries which have been divided, like Ireland and Korea and places like that, and India and places like that. Number 27, I hope to like acknowledge and reward any groups who have supported charities or helped people in Africa and Asia, like acknowledge some of those groups. And I'd love to have a list of perhaps 30 NGOs, organizations, charities and businesses which have helped people across Africa, Asia and places like that. Number 28, I hope I can look at how to turn negative situations into positives, Number 29, again, I hope to look at how I can bring groups together that can travel to parts of Asia and Africa and Latin America and places like that, and developing countries or colonized countries, or both, in many cases, and look at how we can empower those people, all being well. And number 30, again, I hope to make more lists like this and perhaps update and adapt some of my plans, and see what I can learn. And again, I'd love to hear your ideas. Sorry if this video is a bit long. So I know I do my videos live, so I don't really edit them. But yeah, so I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'm out. Peace out.